Here's how I built one of the top converting teams nationally and the mindset needed for that. So we're going to start off talking about some of the newer leads that we're getting. Now, we are getting leads from multiple sources. We have sources that we pay for outright. We have referral partners. We have hybrid models where we pay a little upfront and there's a smaller referral fee paid back at the end. But we're going to work primarily on internet leads today, and we're going to focus more on the more difficult leads to cultivate, and those are your Google PPC leads. Those come from all different sources. They're probably the more common leads to work. They definitely are a little more top of funnel. These are not always completely ready to transact today. We can focus on some of the other lead sources a little bit later. We're going to start with a couple of things. Number one, these people may not be ready to transact. Your scripting matters. When I pick up that phone and call you 2 seconds after you've come in, that is really, really fast. You're going, why is this guy calling me? The number one thing you got to do is you've got to give them a little space. The fact of the matter is that you may have heard by now, speed to lead, that is important. The agent most quickly to give that person a call, the person who gets them on the phone first, is usually going to win that race. Now, here's what I also know about working leads. Most agents are terrible with follow-up. So I don't care if I wasn't the first one to get to you. Now, I'm going to try to be the first one, and I'm going to try to be good with my follow-up, and that's going to give me a much greater chance of locking you down. However, don't give up. If they tell you they've talked to somebody else, circle back around to them in a month or two, because what I know, having trained tons of agents over the years, is most agents suck at follow-up. So the likelihood of me having a good conversation with this person today and not following up for the next 2 months is pretty high. So if you swoop in there right as they start to get to the time when they're ready to buy a house and they've not heard from their agent in months, you can be in the right spot at the right time. Most of these leads are 3 to 6 months out, maybe even a year. That is actually my verbiage, that's my scripting when I start the phone call. So if I happen to get an answer, hey, Mr. Buyer, listen, this is Micah Larindo with MK & Associates, powered by Real Broker. Listen, I understand it's a bad time of day for you, right? I don't care what time of day it is. It's always a bad time. We are all inconvenienced by a phone call. I could be your best friend, and if I call out of the clear blue, you're gonna think it's a bad time. You're not gonna want to answer that phone. It's just the way we live these days. So if I start off acknowledging that this is a terrible time, it's right here in the middle of the morning, it's right in the middle of the day, it's lunchtime, you're probably about to go to lunch. Listen, I understand that it's a terrible time for you. I'm not gonna keep you. I will tell them I'm not gonna keep you 10, 15 times in a 20-minute conversation, and I'll go right on with my conversation. Listen, I'm gonna let you go, but let me ask you this. Hey, before I let you go, hey, I know you gotta run. Let me ask you this one last thing. And I will keep that going right on down, and you'd be surprised how long a conversation you can get by acknowledging that you're kind of a pain, or I'm not the person you really wanna be talking to right now. You will likely have a tendency, or if you're training your agents to do this, will have a tendency to bring it into present tense. Oh, they're talking to me now. Let me bring it into present tense. Okay, are you looking for 3 beds or 4? It's the worst thing you can do. They'll correct you. I told you I'm not looking. I just tripped into your website. It was an accident. I didn't mean to come in there in the first place. I was just looking. If you keep it future tense, that keeps the pressure off. What we are trying to do is get into a conversation. We're trying to get into a 1-2 minute conversation here. We are not trying to sell a house. If you look at this like you do your dating life, you will go so much further in this business. If you go on a first date and immediately start talking about a wedding, that may be your only date. We're gonna talk about how converting leads is so much like a relationship a little bit later on. You are just trying to develop a relationship. That's something that we say all the time on our team. Stop selling houses, start building relationships. If you are looking to sell a house, if you are anxious and desperate, you are gonna come off that way. If you're anxious and desperate for a date, you're gonna come off that way. If you've got dates lined up down the street, you're gonna look pretty confident. You're not gonna look like you care so much. You're gonna get more dates. So similar to that type of world. So if you are looking at the lead, like, listen, I just want a relationship with you. I wanna be a resource for you down the road. Let me give you some resources. Let me give you some help. Let me point you in the right direction. And then we'll circle up down the road and see how things work out. I just want to be here for you when the time is right. If you take that sort of stance, every time you go to make that phone call, stop trying to sell a house. I just want to get to know this person a little bit better. That will take you so much further down the road. So coming back around to the time frame, what will you be looking for down the road? Keeping that future tense, not present tense, right? That future tense in mind, you will be surprised at how much of a relationship that will begin to create. And watch, you get 2-3 minutes into that conversation, you start to build a little trust. You ask some details about the home, everything about, trying to get them to go see the home, but the home that you will be looking for. Will schools matter to you? If I want a relationship with you, I need to know more about you, more about your family, more about your wants and your needs. I don't need to know if you're free tomorrow at 3 o'clock to go see a house. That is a fast forward button. We are trying to develop a relationship. So let me ask you more questions about you. Every question that you answer, I'm gonna go one deeper. Are schools going to matter to you? Do you have children? Are schools going to matter? Oh yes, I have kids in elementary school. Oh, that's so cool. How many do you have? Oh, that's great. We want to go one question deeper. We don't want it to be creepy. We don't need to get into details. We are still a brand new person on the phone that they've not met. So there's a fine line to walk there between asking a few questions, trying to get to know them, and pushing too far. So keep that in mind. Now that we've got a little bit of rapport and we're starting to get a little bit of that conversation, we're gonna ask, before I let you go, and I know I've had you on for just a minute, I'm gonna let you run here. What is it about your current home that isn't working for you right now? Guys, there is no way for me to answer that question without telling you something personal about myself. That kicks open that door to a relationship. I can't do stairs anymore. I have bad knees. Or, I've had this surgery and stairs are really difficult. I need a first floor home. Or my family is growing. We need a bigger home. We're pregnant. We're this, we're that. The kids are grown and gone. We need a smaller home. Whatever it is, there is just about no way to answer that question without them telling me something personal. And that is what we're after if we're after a relationship. Now, at this point, we have some rapport. We've got some relationship going. The conversation really could come to an end here. It can go as long as you like, but I think beyond here, you have enough to work with. In this conversation somewhere, they have probably told us they're 12 months out. Number one, cut that in half. Whatever they tell you. If they're 12 months out, they're 6 months out. If they're 6 months out, they're 3 months out. Whatever they tell you, cut it in half. They tell you 12 months and you call them 10 months from now, you will find out more often than not that they bought a house 4 months ago. So don't do that. Number two, we want to solidify this relationship. If you go on a first date and it goes well and you don't call them for 12 months, what do you think your likelihood of getting a second date 12 months later is? Slim and none, right? Again, we don't want to hover, we don't want to be creepy, but we want to solidify that relationship. We want to solidify a back and forth. Hey, when I ping on you, you're gonna respond. I'm going to, the next day, set an expectation. I'm going to set you up in the MLS and send you properties. I'm gonna do whatever it was that I promised I would do for you. I'm gonna check with you tomorrow to make sure that that's going well. Whether you are coming back with some information for them or whether you're just setting them for a search, there needs to be another touch the next day. I'm going to ping on them. They're going to respond to me. That is a relationship. The more short little responses, you don't need to drive them nuts anymore. They know you're there. What they need to know now is that you're not easily going to go away, that you are there to not bother them, to be a resource, but you are going to stick with them, and that's what that starts to show them. Listen, if this information is working for you, hit subscribe.